What's up, Stat Family? Told you we was coming back with another. We got Larry Bird just exposed this NBA media narrative. This is a live reaction. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, and comment below. Let's get it.
One of the worst NBA narratives I've come to despise over the years is the overall notion of players' total stats and longevity, in large part determine how great they actually were. And the main group pushing this agenda is LeBron James fans and people like Nick Wright. And these guys are obsessed with longevity numbers and total stats. And what these guys truly believe is someone's career totals. That, in essence, makes them the greatest player of all time and greater than someone who definitively had a higher peak. And I think the latest proof of longevity stats being flawed is the fact DeMar DeRozan soon is going to pass Larry Bird in all-time points. Now look, DeMar in his prime even now is a great player, all-star caliber.
I didn't know that. I just found that out.
But if you think DeMar DeRozan actually was a better scorer than Larry Bird, you're sorely mistaken. And according to LeBron James fans, using their logic, DeMar actually was the better scorer. As in a couple of games, he's going to pass Larry Bird in total points on 500 less shots. Again, using total stats longevity numbers, DeMar DeRozan is the better overall scorer. But rational NBA fans, smart NBA fans know those stats are highly misleading. And understand how good a player was, how great a player was, if you see their prime and their peak, as those numbers are what actually matters. As looking at peak Bird, from 85 to 88, Larry averaged 28.1 points, 9.7 boards, 6.8 assists on 52, 41, and 90 splits. Compared to peak DeMar, Larry outclasses him in every single category. And even as a scorer, Larry Bird, he peaked higher and was a better overall scorer. As an 88, he averaged 29.9 points, 87, 28.1, 85, 28.7, compared to DeMar DeRozan, who not once his career cracked 28 points per game. And what you'll hear from this crowd who promotes total stats is that, well, DeMar scored more points taking less shots. If that's your go-to argument, you miss the entire point of valuing a player's peak and their prime and how good they were at their best. And my overall problem with the LeBron James crowd, the Nick Wright crowd, who loves these total stats, they don't apply it to every player or equally across the board. Primarily, it's only for LeBron versus Jordan. And why they do this is if you compare total stats across the board for every player, it becomes quite ridiculous and their logic is exposed pretty easily. As looking at total stat numbers, John Stockton actually was a better overall point guard than Magic. Of course, not true. Look at someone like Dwayne Wade. His total stats are better than Larry Legend. Is Wade a great player? Of course he was. But he's not Larry Bird. And worst of all, Karl Malone. His longevity and total stats are better than Jordan. Look, while longevity is great and highly impressive, total stats really should only be used for milestones and NBA records. As in comparing players, looking at who was the best, total stats really don't even paint half the picture. My overall point is pretty simple. The misleading nature of total stats and longevity is pretty rampant in the NBA community. And looking back at Larry Bird, as someone who watches basketball every single night, watches multiple games, seeing some of the guys in this league putting up absurd stats, it really makes you wonder how some fans think Bird couldn't play in today's NBA. I mean, look at today's Boston team. Fans clown Jaylen Brown up and down for having no left hand. But already this year, he's on pace once again to average 25 plus points. And last year, averaged 27 and made second team All-NBA. If Jaylen's doing that with no left hand, apparently being a garbage player, what would Larry Bird do in this era? And back in 2017, one thing that really stuck with me was the debate between LeBron James and Draymond. And both these players agreed there are players in the NBA today who do not know how to play basketball. I'll repeat that. LeBron James and Draymond said there are players in the league who, quote, don't know how to play basketball. Those guys just being raw athletes, they can jump, run, or simply tall. While the overall talent of basketball has gotten better progressively, I would argue the IQ and fundamentals have suffered drastically. And guys who come in from Europe with the fundamental skills of great base, nowadays they're dominating the American players or more so athletes. That's why someone like Jokic can average 28, 14, and 6 and not have a 10-inch vertical. Or Luka Doncic, who's slightly more athletic, can drop 40 at the drop of a hat. Because those guys are fundamentally sound and not just pure athletes who dominate in that way. And look, I kind of am generalizing right here, as there are a lot of American-born players who have great fundamental skills and were taught how to play basketball. And most of those guys who are highly skilled, even the 30-plus guys, still dominate in today's NBA. Because in my view, a lot of younger players rather jump high, be fast, than actually fundamentally sound.
Right.
And one last thing I do want to kind of rant about is the overall crowd in the NBA says championships don't matter and they're purely a team accomplishment. Now, just like total stats, that logic never goes the full distance. As basketball, of course, is a team sport, and every stat and accolade is affected by your teammates. If you take that logic 2 steps further, realistically, things like assist totals, being the assist leader, actually shouldn't really matter. Your assists are dependent on your teammates. The same thing goes with scoring, breaking all-time scoring record. Really, it's a team accomplishment, but in a basketball court, it's not 1v5. Right. Your teammates most nights can impact the spacing, how tough the defense plays, and how much you can double team on the court. Of course, I'm being sarcastic and hyperbolic, but I hope the overall point kind of gets through. When you say things like championships don't matter, you got to go the distance with that argument and think it through. Same with total stats and longevity. You can't apply it to just one player versus another. If you're going to use that logic, apply it to everyone. But why they don't do that is if they do, their logic falls apart seamlessly. And again, for these fans like a Nick Wright, there's no argument off limits, no narrative too absurd not to push their agenda. And seeing something like DeRozan pass Bird in points, again exposes how longevity stats are highly flawed and misleading. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Good hustle. Dude just saved it and got the ball back. That's crazy. That's legendary, Big Bird. Salute Uncut for the video. Big Bird, Bird family. Y'all already know he's a big legend over here now. Forever Big Bird now. Salute. Thank y'all Stat family. Thank y'all Bird family for watching the full video. We're going to be back with another video after this video. Make sure y'all stay prayed up. Y'all be safe. And y'all be good. You know?